Right now, when anyone visits our app, he would see hello world rendered on the page. Immediately he visits the 5000, right? So the only route or endpoint we are supporting is this endpoint. What about if we want people to register? Wouldn't it be cool when we create a register endpoint? Yeah, it would. And even that, we don't need to be returning just an ordinary string, but a template. So let's get started with that concept here. So Flask comes with the render templates function, so we can just import render templates. Okay, then instead of outputting hello world this way, we can say that render templates, and then what template do you want to render? Maybe the home.html. But where exactly do we need to put this home.html for Flask to be able to recognize that there is something called home.html on our page? So we need to create a folder. So the folder, we'll call it templates. All right, I'll hit on enter. Then I'll create a file in here. The file, we are just going to call it home.html as we have named it here. So this would mean that it will have a basic HTML scaffolding template and can even have, like, something like an H4, which will say hello and then welcome. All right, when we save this work, now in our application, when anyone visits this particular route, it would pull off this template for us. So let's see it in action. All right, so over here, let's go back to 5000, and you can see it says hello world. So this is how you include a template in your application. Now let's add on to some specific routes. For example, now people can visit the home route. Let's create another route. So we say app.route, and then what is the route that we want the person to visit and be able to find it? Let's call it register, for instance. Okay, then it means that we need to define our function. Our function might be called anything. I'll call this register, and this function will simply return a template. So render template, and the template that is going to be returned is going to be called register.html. Okay, so when we save this work, we go back to our template folder. Let's add another one. So we will say register. All right, so we say register.html. We just need to make sure the spelling is very right over here. Okay, so I'll hit on enter. So register has been created. So let me then type something really cool in here. So over here, I'm just going to type maybe an H4 that would say that hello register here. All right, for now, let's just do this. So let's visit that particular endpoint and see how it works as well. So when we visit the 5000, it says welcome. When we visit the register, it says hello register here. So you can see the concept of routing and also templating playing a vital role in our application. So in the next couple of episodes, we'll move on to something else. But before we end there, I also want to introduce you to the gitignore concept. So imagine that we want to push this particular code to GitHub. We wouldn't want it to, push the env or the environment file that we created. So let's just come in here and look for gitignore. Okay, so github.com/github/gitignore. Then we would look for Python. Okay, Python is P, right? So let's look for Python in here. Okay, so I'll click on Python gitignore, and I'll copy whatever is in the context over here. So let me just copy it all, so that it will ignore the things that are not supposed to push to GitHub when we are ready to do that. So in here, I'll create a new file called .gitignore, and I'll hit on enter, and I'll paste in all the stuff that are supposed to be ignored, so that whenever we push this particular application to GitHub, everything would go except the things that we don't want to push to GitHub. Okay, so at this point you've understood the concept of routing, template, and we just began with that, and we added the gitignore as well. So in the next couple of episodes, let's move on to something else.